Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the DomainCast. I'm your host, Super Mac Guy, and I'm here with Zildjian65 once again here, joining us today. And let's get into it. We're going to talk about Halo coming to PC. Zildjian, what can you tell us about Halo?
Well, Master Chief Collection will be coming to the Windows Store and Steam. This will be including Halo Reach. And there's some weird caveats of how this works, which we'll probably get into later. But overall, this is really cool.
Yeah, I think it's pretty awesome bringing it back to PC. I know that's what a lot of OG Halo players have always been wanting.
I remember playing Halo 2 back on, if you remember games for Windows Live.
Oh, yeah.
I remember Halo 2 on that.
I had an old Windows Vista laptop that had that, and I was like, Jesus. I mean, I couldn't run anything because it was like a crap computer, but still, I poked around on there.
Oh, yeah. So it's nice that I can actually play Halo on my PC without using Windows Live.
Jesus.
But yeah, there's some weird caveats around this, which are really weird. So it's like, you buy in at a normal price, but you have to buy each campaign separately. Or if you have Game Pass, you just get everything included for Game Pass.
I mean, for me, I just go Game Pass route, so you just get everything at once, so you don't have to buy everything separately.
I know, yeah, that's what I'm thinking I'm gonna do. But that's just weird to do it like that. Make it $90 of everything.
Yeah, that kind of weird loophole they did right there. Well, I don't want to call it a loophole, but that weird purchasing deal power right there, kind of weird. Why not just make it 90 like you said?
Yeah.
I think one of my favorites out of the whole Halo series, probably Halo Reach. I used to play it a lot with my cousin on his Xbox 360. Had a lot of fun times in the local co-op modes and stuff. That was pretty fun.
Well, Reach was great, and I'm really excited to see what they can do, especially with the Xbox One X's, to see, and in the PC as well, obviously, how they can upscale to 4K with it.
Oh yeah, it's going to look a lot better, I think, with the new power that the Xbox One X has. And well, obviously, you're going to bring it over to PC also, so that's going to be a huge bump also.
Oh yeah, and I'm really excited to see what kind of settings they include, because if you look at Sunset Overdrive or Crackdown 3 on PC, those games, man, they put more visual and audio settings in them than most PC games do.
Oh, so they got a lot of features on those games, huh?
Oh yeah, they got a lot of features. And what's going to be real interesting is I want to see, with the Master Chief Collection now, what's going to be the most populated game multiplayer-wise.
That's a good point right there. I didn't think about that one.
Hey, I'm guessing Halo 3 or Reach.
Yeah, probably one of those two, because...
Maybe two.
Personally, I'd go for Reach, because I just have better memories of that, playing with my cousin with that, obviously. So for me, it'd be Reach. But for other people, it might be Halo 3, because I played that with my friends and family, and, so on and so on.
I have a collector's edition of Halo 3. Came in the whole steelbook, and it came with the DVD and the soundtrack and
Did you get that Master Chief helmet in that, or no?
Well, okay, so I picked it up at a retro game shop in North Carolina when I was down there last year.
Uh-huh.
It was originally from that huge pack like that.
Oh,
but
okay.
I end up just getting the discs and steelbook case and the booklets.
I mean, that's still a pretty cool deal.
I got it for $7 too.
$7. Jesus.
In perfect condition.
What a steal, man. What a steal.
I know, right?
I remember seeing adverts for when Halo 3 was launching on the 360. It's oh, pre-order right now at GameStop and you get the Master Chief voice communication helmet so you can play for friends on Xbox Live. I'm just looks kind of tacky, but I'd still want that.
It's kind of that Fallout 76 helmet people wanted.
Yeah.
It's just people wanted that helmet. That's the kind of same thing, except they actually kind of put a use to it with a mic. But that thing probably got really hot inside.
All sweaty and all that bacteria. You gotta clean it up with a wipey a day later.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, it's not a good idea, I think. Long-term gaming wise, just putting the helmet on, you're gonna get some sort of infection off of that.
I would pay someone to stream in 2019 of the original Halo helmet. I would pay them.
It's like a 24-hour stream with the helmet on. You crank up the heater just for shits and giggles. It's like, all right, man. So we got like $700 donations. Good work, dude. Good work. And we're gonna take you to a hospital since you're probably dehydrated right now. So you take off the helmet, it's all like dripping out of sweat and stuff. Jesus.
But it's gonna be really interesting to see with the resurgence of the multiplayer since they fixed most of it in Master Chief Collection.
Yeah, I was gonna bring up. I remember when the collection launched, a lot of people were having trouble with the online component of it. The multiplayer was kind of broken, from what I heard.
The whole game was broken.
Yeah, and so with this new re-release, hopefully, right, that won't be repeated again now that they've figured it all out.
Well, all the patches that's on the Xbox version will just be part of the PC version already, pretty much.
All right.
Because those are all included now, pretty much. It's like when you buy a digital game, you're essentially buying all patches too, because that just gets included in the file size.
Yeah, true.
Whereas if you buy the physical version, you still have to download all of them. But I'm interested to see where people migrate to. I have a feeling maybe since a lot of people maybe are now used to Halo 5, that maybe they'll go to Halo 4.
I could see why. Yeah, because like it's the newest Halo, and that's like what people are used to right now.
Like the way Halo 4 works multiplayer wise is similar to 5.
Well, yeah, right. It's 343.
Yeah,
right,
so
and then the other ones are Bungie.
There's probably going to be 2 core fan groups within this. There's going to be the Bungie fanboys and the 343 fanboys.
I mean, personally, I connect more with the Bungie ones, but I'll still play the 343 ones. Don't get me wrong.
I actually like Halo 4.
I didn't get to play too much of Halo 4 since I don't have a Microsoft console, but my friend did have it, and I did play with it a little bit. And I thought it was pretty okay, you know. But I didn't get like the same like, oh wow factor from like when I played Halo Reach.
Oh, it doesn't have that. But as far as just a game, it's a good game.
No, yeah.
It ruined custom games, but other than that, it was fine.
You know, there's all this talk about the Master Chief Collection coming right now to PC and stuff. Mm-hmm. What I would be interested in seeing, I don't know if you remember this, there was a prototype demo video leaked around on the internet like several years ago. I think this was when the 360 was barely going to get Halo 3, of a Nintendo DS edition of Halo.
I know what you're talking about. Microsoft, that's a real thing. Microsoft did work on that.
It would be so cool to see them just like bring that out of nowhere. That'd be just freaking hilarious. Like,
what came of that was later Metroid games.
Oh, like you think they turned that concept, someone at Nintendo style, and like, hey, let's rework this as like a Nintendo Metroid style type of game?
I think they took inspiration from it for, like, when they put like a Prime Trilogy on the Wii U eShop, they did make some tweaks to it, and it feels a little better on the Wii U version of the game. So I believe that they took some inspiration from that original DS demo of Halo.
I was pretty, like blown away at the time when I saw it, because I was like, holy shit, this is Halo for the Nintendo DS of all freaking consoles,
Well, there's rumors of Halo for the Switch.
There you go. Like with their new like buddy partnership that Nintendo has with Microsoft right now. Like I think you've noticed them getting a little bit like, friendly with Nintendo recently.
Well, yeah, they have each other. I mean, I think that we're hitting so, and this is just a broader conversation in general when that just goes into, is 10 years ago, or even, I shouldn't say 10, 15, it was Nintendo versus Sega versus Microsoft versus Sony. Whereas now it's just like, 99% of games are multi-platform. Let's all work together, except for Sony.
True. Like right now, I think the most, I don't want to say this word because it's a pretty loaded word, anti-consumer is Sony right now.
Oh, Sony is very anti-consumer. They're extremely. I don't trust them, and I can't. I'm not getting a PS5.
It's like, you remember the whole Fortnite fiasco that went down?
I haven't trusted them since then.
Yeah.
They blocked third-party accounts on a third-party game. What?
I mean, it just goes to show you how things switch around in the generations. Like PS3 had a rough time compared to the 360, And then Microsoft was the victor in that little face off between Sony and Microsoft. And then we see Microsoft when they do you remember when they were announcing the Xbox One?
Oh, the Xbox One is... You know what? And we'll get into this later. The Stadia reveal reminded me of the Xbox One reveal.
I didn't see that reveal, but do explain why it'll remind you of the Xbox reveal.
They didn't reveal much information. To the public, at least. And they heavily enforced it always online DRM. Heavily. Focused a lot on entertainment, more so than games. Didn't tell us much of games at all, of either presentation.
I mean, hell, there could be some Microsoft there. I mean, there could be some Microsoft guys working for them, for all we know.
But, like, and that's not to get off topic and go to Stadia later, but, like, the Xbox One reveal was a lot like the Stadia's reveal. In that way. The Xbox One, and I know I'm going to get mad at me for saying this. I believe it's an objectively better console than the PS4. If you're looking at Xbox versus PS4.
I don't necessarily use Xbox a lot since I don't have one. So I can't 100% back you on that statement. But I do think as a multimedia machine and just the giant behemoth Microsoft is with, the different platforms they use and stuff, I think Xbox is a lot more suitable for that, whole array of stuff.
And it's not just that, it's the way it's built. The PS4 doesn't even have a proper graphics card in it.
What does it have exactly? Like a APU setup? Or...
It has an APU setup.
And then the Xbox has a legit graphics unit on it, right?
Yeah, it has a legit graphics card.
See, I didn't know that. I thought the
the
Xbox
problem
was
is
an
with
APU.
the PS4, this is why it has an overheating problem.
Because of the APU designation.
Because the APU does very little work, and the CPU does most of the work for everything that's running on the system.
I mean, the good thing is...
It's running a lot.
The Google Stadia is not going to have that issue since, streaming everything, basically.
So this is a good segue into Google Stadia. So, before we preface into this, and you can explain your thoughts and your impressions, I've known about Stadia for over a year. I have a source inside Google I've been talking to for about a year and a half now. When I first started talking to them, they said they still had plans to release a box. But the thing about it is, anyone who sees reveal and saw those specs, that's what they're working with. They had specs originally even better than that. Like, literally, terabytes of RAM.
Jesus.
But the thing is, they wouldn't make money off it. They would have to sell the system for $1,500. They would be forced to.
I remember some years back, I made a video about this. There was a rumor that Google was making a console, right? And I didn't think much of it at the time, but here we are. Google is making a console, the Stadia.
Well, it's a form of a console.
Yeah.
To explain, people maybe didn't see the reveal. The console is real. There is a box, but we're not able to buy it. It's going to be housed at Google data centers, and then we stream it online from our internet connection. We stream the console from that.
Yeah, the future's here, essentially.
Yes and no. I think, and I've talked to my source within Google about this, and he's confirmed to me that this is not a move for America. This is not.
Ah, okay.
This is a way to get even more into India and Japan and places like that.
So it's for not necessarily us, but for other markets?
It's mainly appealed for worldwide market as a whole.
Interesting.
Because think of it, we don't have the internet infrastructure to do this.
That's true, and then you also got to go into the account how I think AT&T is going to buy Time Warner Cable or something like that.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have a monopoly on just internet connections everywhere, and they're going to raise the price because they can do it. They're the only person where you can get internet from.
Yeah. And like I said, it's not geared towards us. That's when you see most of the criticisms online, it's mostly from Americans.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So, and it's valid. It's completely valid criticism. But you got to take into account we're not the main market. Like, look at Japan. They can literally stream Phantasy Star Online 2 on the Switch, Resident Evil 7, and Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Now, I've streamed Resident Evil 7 on the Switch because I have really good internet. Because it works for me, but the average person wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah, it's a thing. The infrastructure isn't just there yet.
And Japan has an infrastructure, so this is a way for them to get into them even more.
You know, I brought this up earlier off stream, but
Yeah.
this reminds me of the OnLive console that was launched very, very several years ago. I know
That was like 5 years ago it shut down, right?
Yeah, around there. I think Sony ended up buying their assets and using that for the PS Now service that they have right now.
Yeah, that's a joke.
Interesting.
No, funny thing is, On Live is actually better than PS Now.
I didn't get any playtime with the OnLive simply because, well, I was like, I don't even think I had internet at the time either. And like, even when I did get internet, it was pretty ass.
Oh yeah. And like, the thing about the Stadium, what I'm really interested in, and this is something I'm not appreciating right now, is the lack of information for the general public about
Yeah,
it.
they're feeding you it slowly and slowly, trying to build up the hype.
But like, okay,
That's my
there's
theory.
basic information they should have told us. Price.
Oh yeah,
Is
definitely.
it a subscription service or not? How do we sign up for it? And what are 5 launch titles it's going to have? Not many. What are 5? You can build up hype from that, but we should have that. We should have that basic information. Now, what I've been able to confirm with my sources inside Google is that it is a subscription service. It's no one's sure how it's going to work, but they're sure but they know it's a subscription service
Okay, so we know that it's a subscription service first off.
in some way. There's some people in Google try and push for the idea of having it free to play with ads.
I can see that happening, but I just think it probably is going to be the subscription service just because, you know, like Netflix, that model works very well.
So another thing I brought up to him was, and then I saw no one asking about it, was DLC.
What about the
for
DLC?
example, so like, I'm a big fan of WWE video games. And every year when they release, there's 2 separate versions. There's the standard version, and then there's a deluxe edition, which comes out 3 days early and has the season pass, all the other DLC, all other wrestlers, all that. So I was asking him, my source, and saying, so WWE 2K20 comes out. What's going to happen with a Stadia version? They're most likely just going to have deluxe version available for streaming.
All right. So it's
So
just going to be the
basically,
deluxe one.
Pretty much.
So
But always online. Even if it's a single player game.
Oh, okay, I see.
So there will still be a reason to buy a box or PC version of the game. Then.
Well, yeah, like if you want to play offline.
Yeah, there'll still be a reason. But like for a casual, and that's the important thing to note is this is great and all. This is a really cool program what they're doing. But this isn't geared towards us.
I
This
think
is
to a
geared
certain
towards the casuals.
I think to a certain extent it might be geared to us, but I think you're right there. Like 90% of it is geared towards casuals. Like
Seriously, during that presentation, they're going about 4K this, 4K that. You need a 4K monitor or 4K screen to support it. And I'll be straight up honest with you. Can you tell the difference between 1080p and 1440p on your phone?
probably not.
No. Even I have a hard time telling. Like, no one can tell the difference. Phones are typically 1080p, 1440p. You need a monitor or TV that can support 4K. Now, granted,
Exactly.
4K TVs are getting cheaper,
True, they're becoming more accessible for the masses.
which is smart for Google to think about. But so a lot of people just don't have a reason to go and get a new TV or a new monitor.
Yeah, like there's a certain point, you know, I think you agree with this, like these resolution wars are getting out of hand.
Oh, it is getting out of hand. It's very much like I love technological advance as much as the next guy. I'm running. I have a straight up 1440p monitor as my main, and a 1080p as my second one, and I have the new S10 as my phone. Like I love all these advances, but there's a certain point where you got to think about the demographics they're trying to reach.
Yeah.
They're not reaching out to. It'd be smart of them to reach out to people like me and you, almost in a way, because we're more likely to have the things to support what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
Whereas if you go to a casual that just wants to play for NBA or their Madden or whatever it is, they're gonna most likely not have the place to support the best ways of doing that.
Yeah, like probably if we're talking about like the casual crowd here, they don't really like, oh, 4K. Like, do I really need 4K? Like, they just want to play the game, essentially.
The problem is, and this is a thing that Google was touting in their presentation, 4K this, 4K that. Not once did they mention you need a 4K monitor to support 4K. Not once.
They like to leave that out.
Yeah.
And
Because
so,
the casual market, which is what you're appealing to, isn't going to think that deep.
no, they're not. That's very true.
They're just going to say, oh, 4K. We saw it with the Xbox One X. People was like, oh, 4K gaming? Well, if you have a 4K TV or monitor.
It's like, if you got it, you can do it. But if you have 1080p, you're shit out of luck, pal.
If you have 1080p, you get 1080p. If you have 720p, you get 720p. I
Yeah.
don't know what else to tell you. You're getting what you have. And granted, 4K monitors are a little up there. It's about $250 for a decent monitor.
You know, one thing I was looking at the Stadia was the controller, and I like it. It doesn't look bad at all. I kind of like the little logo.
A whitewashed PS4 controller.
I like the little like logo it has at the very bottom on the Stadia. Like what I'm guessing is the home button.
Yes.
I think that's a very cool little logo that they made, and apparently it has a input for audio, which
Oh, it has a headphone jack. Yeah. Woo.
it has a headphone jack. So Google was listening to somebody.
I can't believe in 2019 we're celebrating things having headphone jacks.
This is the right timeline, celebrating headphone jacks.
Yeah, and like when I see the controller, like I jokingly say it looks like a whitewashed PS4 controller because it kind of does. Just look at it.
It reminds me like of like you said, the PS4 and a mixture of the Switch's Pro controller.
I would think it has a little more to do. Okay, from what I've been told from people who have it, it feels a lot like an Xbox controller.
Oh, okay.
The way the buttons are built are very similar to Xbox. They're extremely similar.
I mean, I don't have a problem with Xbox at all, so that's fine by me.
Honestly, I have all the major systems and almost any system that's been released. I actually prefer the Xbox controller feel-wise over any other controller.
I agree with you, especially more when it comes to the analog placement of it.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer how it's kind of like that. How there's one on the top left, and how it's on the bottom, and then on the DualShock, they're both on the bottom. I gravitate more towards the Xbox style of controller if I do have a choice to use that.
Oh yeah, and especially the way it's built too. Like the PS4 controllers, you can break it within like two falls on the ground. I'm not even joking. You can. It's super easy to break them. But like the Xbox controller is super sturdy, and it's very much built like an Xbox controller.
Yeah, I spent some time with my friend's Xbox One, obviously the same guy who I played Halo with, Halo, I think it was Halo 5.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, these Xbox controllers are pretty damn good. Like, it felt really good in my hand, and I have, slightly larger than average hands, and, the controller fit my hands really well.
Oh yeah, and it's a really nice controller. It's one of my favorite controllers out there. And the Stadia controller reminds me of it a bit. What I really like about it is the share button actually. So like in this age of digital sharing, as they're doing right now, people want to share their clips.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And what they do, and there's speed run things like, oh look at this thing I did. You can just share them easily in two seconds on this controller. Super convenient.
Yeah, like that's a very useful feature for people who make YouTube videos. You just, like for me on PS4, because I have PS4, I have the share button. I just use that. I record a little piece of it, put it on my USB stick, put it on the computer, and boom, I have the footage. There's no need for a capture card anymore, essentially.
Well, there's still a need, but for like if you're just getting little clips like that, then yeah, you wouldn't need a capture card for that specifically.
Yeah, like you're right. There is still a need for capture cards. Like obviously, the quality you're getting on the PS share button isn't the greatest quality.
I believe it's 720p, right?
Yeah, and if you hook up like your Elgato, obviously you can go up to like 1080p or 1440p. I think.
You can go up to 4K if you wanted, if you have resolution, right?
I think so. I think that's like the newest one, like the HD60S edition. I'm not sure exactly. I don't follow Elgato that much. I have a Easy Cap. But for like short little clips or for stuff you're like, I'm not going to really give much of a crap about this, it comes in handy. And as technology goes on and consoles get better and better, the sharing resolutions are going to get better also.
Now, I have a question for the audience here, and you can chime in as well. Something that was shown off of Stadia was the, like, let's say Game Domain is streaming NBA 2K20. Or what's the game Alex likes? You likes baseball, right?
Yeah.
So let's say he's streaming baseball. What's that? What's the baseball game? MLB? Whatever.
MLB The Show, right?
Not show, whatever one.
All right, so for the sake of it, let's just say MLB 19.
Yeah, MLB 20. Let's say he's streaming MLB 20. If he's doing an online game, you can literally, on YouTube chat, like, join the queue to join the game on Stadia.
There you go.
Like, that's really interesting to me about how that's going to work. Like, how creators will have control over that. But, like, if Alex is streaming this wants to chill and hang out and play with people, it's super easy. He doesn't need to add anyone.
Yeah, it's just right there. You just do it.
And then he never sees their tag ever again after that game.
Oh, yeah, Google Stadia. It's going to be an interesting player in this new console war, I guess you could call it.
It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. I think it's going to take a little bit for it to catch on. Especially in the States, it's going to take a lot of convincing to people.
I just want to hit on a little bit of that, the whole convincing part, like personally me, what I feel about Stadia.
Yeah.
I've been on the YouTube platform for a long time, and I've seen the platform evolve and stuff like that. And I think one of the worst things that happened to the platform was, I'm not going to say when Google bought YouTube. A lot of people say that, but keep in mind, if Google didn't buy out YouTube, there would be no YouTube as we know it today.
You'd be using Vimeo.
Exactly. Or like Dailymotion. Like, oh, Jesus, no. When they integrated, you see, before Google Plus, there was a time where YouTube had its own account system and stuff. They even had their own inbox system where you could send a private message to people. If we have any OGs out there, then you remember that.
It's still around, actually.
They still have the inbox system? I thought they got rid of that like a couple updates ago.
They still have a messaging system.
Really?
Just no one ever uses it.
I'll have to check on that later because I'm pretty sure they took it out, but that's cool if it's still around. And when the Google Plus integration happened, I don't want to say it crashed YouTube, but a lot of comments disappeared. A lot of channels kind of lost access to their quote-unquote Google Plus page and stuff like that, and it was just a big fiasco. And in the very end, Google Plus was taken out of YouTube integration, which I think it was the better call here. And I just leave this question to you people who had a beautiful time with Google Plus here on YouTube, right? If you got screwed over by Google Plus like I did, do you trust Google, the same company that brought Google Plus to YouTube to make their own console? Personally, I wouldn't, but I'm willing to give them a chance to see what they can do.
Oh, yeah, and it's interesting bringing up Google Plus because I don't think Stadia would be possible if they still had Google Plus.
I think it could have been, but the infrastructure, just the big bloat that is Google Plus would have brought it down because people don't, at least in my experience, people cringe when they bring up Google Plus, like, oh, Google Plus.
Here's what I'm wondering is, if Stadia is a failure, do they just end it? Or do they stick in the long run and try and make it better?
I think they might just stick with it. I mean, look at Google. I mean, not Google. YouTube. YouTube loses money every day it's running, but Google still has it.
But they would have to stick around, I think, for Stadias because they have like people like ID Software, Ubisoft, possibly Activision down the line getting involved on this. On this platform.
Yeah, like once you get those big players coming to the platform, you can't
You
just
have an
abandon your
obligation
partner.
to keep it up.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Google Stadia. I mean, I'm kind of iffy about it,
It's
but
gonna be an interesting thing to see how it evolves. So let me ask you: let's say Google announces this is a subscription service that's launching these amazing titles that you want, and you can just stream, and you don't have to buy them. You just pay one price. What price would you be willing to pay?
That's a good question.
I think $100 a year would cover it.
You know, because I'm going off by what I know right now from stuff I've experienced, like the PSN Plus stuff, even though you can't really compare that.
PS Plus,
Yeah.
PSN now is terrible.
Yeah, and like the Netflix subscription services and stuff. But if it's like $100 and you're getting all the games you want and there's no limitations or anything like that, just stream it. So, you know, if it's $100, that's basically less than what you're paying for like a PS4 anyways, or an Xbox 360. Plus, you still got to tack on the Xbox Live and the PS Plus for those consoles also to access the online connectivity. I think that would be a decent price, what you brought up, the $100 range.
I think it'd more like be $120, more likely. But $100 would be like a low point. I think people would be willing to accept for a mock console like this.
Yeah.
Now, granted, there is a physical version out there if you're a developer. You can order one from Google and they will send it to you. It'll be a lot of money, but you can get one.
You can get one, but it's just going to cost you. That's the thing.
Yeah, it's going to be anywhere between $1,000 and $5,000.
I mean, good on Google for making something, well, not necessarily new since there is consoles everywhere, but for trying to come into the market, you know. More competition is always good for the consumer. And
it's always good, except in the case of Epic versus Steam. We'll get into that another day. We'll get into that discussion another day.
Unlike another company, which I highly doubt will ever come out with their product, wink wink Atari VCS, I have faith Google will actually deliver on their promise.
Google will at least attempt to
Exactly.
To Atari VCS is a whole nother conversation for a whole other day.
That's the next podcast, guys.
You know what? We're setting that in stone now. Atari VCS.
Jesus. Yeah,
that's a good topic. We should keep that in mind.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about something that might stir up a really, really heated discussion in the comment section. Best video game soundtracks of all time.
What's your favorite? Let's start with that.
Favorites, I think, would have to be some of the tracks from the Legend of Zelda franchise. Granted, not from Breath of the Wild, because frankly, there's a lack of music in the entire game, in my opinion. If we're talking about like memorable stuff, it'd probably be more like from Twilight Princess or Ocarina of Time or Wind Waker. Those are my like when I think like awesome video game soundtracks and stuff, I think of that. And then the God of War game on PS4 also, that had a pretty kick-ass soundtrack also.
It did.
And well, you know what? You go ahead with yours. I'll keep thinking.
My favorite of all time will and always be Lego Universe. I don't even know if you know about that game.
I do not know about the Lego Universe.
I'll throw a picture on screen and editing and
All right.
post of the game. I have the actually physical box right next to me. It's a PC only, online only MMO game that Lego released in 2010. It was only around for 2 years, but it was so amazing.
Yeah, I'm looking at some screenshots of it right now.
Yeah, and the soundtrack was done by Brian Tyler, but you may know him from Modern Warfare 3.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Jesus, that's cool.
It's an amazing soundtrack to an amazing game. But other than that, I mean, I'm very partial to the WWE video games as far as soundtracks go. because I'm a fan of that music a lot. But
Yeah.
you know what's a really interesting one is Victor Vron. I really like the soundtrack for
Oh, which one?
Victor Vron. It's a top-down RPG style game.
Oh, okay.
And there was a DLC of that was based around Motorhead, and the whole soundtrack is re-recorded Motorhead songs.
Oh, that's dope.
Oh, it was super cool. Brutal Legend has a great soundtrack.
I was just about to bring that up. The Brutal Legends game, since you brought up the Motorhead thing.
Brutal Legends is amazing. I have that game for PC and 360. I love that game.
Awesome.
I've beat it God knows how many times now. Rob Halford's in the game. Ozzy's in the game. Jack Black is the main star.
There
Come
you
on.
go. You got Jack Black in there. Jablinski. Your boy Jablinski. He's in the game. You know, I don't want to necessarily say favorite soundtrack for, because I'm gonna get shit for saying this because I already know.
What?
I'm not saying as a whole I think it's a very great soundtrack, but there's parts of, you know, the Call of Duty franchise where they set it up and the background music is just really epic and it gives you like that.
Which game specifically?
Like the whole Modern Warfare series.
I can agree there, especially MW2.
Yeah, that's what, like, when it was at the peak of everything right there. Like Modern Warfare 2 took what Modern Warfare 1 did and like injected itself with steroids and went on a cocaine binge for a week. I mean, it's honest.
Another game that really came to mind when I was thinking about different stuff for this discussion was I was going through my older games, and Super Mario Sunshine.
That's a good one right there. My friend absolutely loves that game.
It's my favorite 3D Mario game of the trilogy. I think it's way better than Odyssey and 64.
Them's fighting words.
Hey, hit me up on Twitter at Zildjian65YT.
There you go. Hit him up, fellas. Hit him up.
I'm ready to fight ya and debate ya on that. I'm ready. But especially the music in that game is really iconic. Like, even the main Delfino Plaza music today has become such a meme and used in content.
I think going back to the Mario stuff.
Yeah.
I think to a larger extent, Nintendo games as a whole have usually pretty good music.
Dude, like, Super Mario 3D World has some of the best Mario music ever.
Yeah, like there you go, Super Mario 3D World, and then like I brought up earlier, the Zelda series.
Well, which one specifically?
I really like the tracks from Ocarina of Time.
I've always been very partial to the ones on Wind Waker.
I'm trying to remember
It was all piratey themed.
Yeah, like the intro theme was like do 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 do.
Yeah, that song.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wind Waker was pretty cool. It just got a bad rap because it wasn't realistic enough.
Well, that's a rip on the game itself. Like let me ask you this: so when you're watching YouTube videos or editing yourself, if you had to choose music from a Zelda game, which one would you most likely just go to without thinking of it?
Probably freak. I said Wind Waker simply because I was whistling the tune earlier.
No, I think I'd probably go to either Ocarina or Wind Waker.
Yeah, it's one of those two. I won't say Breath of the Wild, hands down. I just won't.
Well, okay, the music in Breath of the Wild can be used in that manner, though. Like, have you actually listened to the soundtrack out of context?
Not out of context. Like, I'm just talking about mainstay gaming right there, like you playing the game.
Listen, it's actually amazing what they've done with that music. It's the main theme for it is super beautiful, especially out of context.
I'm gonna have to revisit that and listen to it again.
Oh yeah, just that whole soundtrack. And to me, a great soundtrack really becomes a great one when I can listen to it out of context.
like for me playing Breath of the Wild, what I remember most is like those big open terrains and stuff. And for the most part, there's like no music playing in the background or anything. Like in Twilight Princess, I don't know if you played Twilight Princess.
I did.
You know how like you go into Hyrule Field and it's like da 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 da
Yes.
da 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 da, and like in Breath of the Wild, it's just like silence, which you can also attribute to the game. Be like, oh, it's the wild. Nature's your music.
It was more of a spiritual kind of thing.
Yeah. But personally, I would have liked to have more like that type of stuff, like the Twilight stuff in there. Like you go into Hyrule Field, oh, you hear the Hyrule Field theme and stuff like that.
Yeah. And it's like Hyrule Warriors has some really epic music.
Oh yeah, I have it on the Wii U. I heard they did a complete edition, I think, on Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, they did a complete edition that has all the DLC plus new content.
Gonna have to buy it again. Jesus.
It's not that much more. It's enough to warrant a purchase. It's not like insane amount more.
Does it have the infamous Switch tax or?
I haven't played it personally. I only played Hyrule Warriors on the 3DS.
Oh, okay. You never played it on the Wii U?
I just got my Wii U this year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I bought one of the limited edition Zelda ones.
Oh, the Wii U's?
Yeah, the one that has the Wind Waker design on it.
Hold up, I think. Let's.
It's the limited edition one.
Limited edition.
It has black and gold. It's
Oh yeah, that's the one my friend has. It's pretty.
Yeah.
It's pretty kick ass.
I got it for like $100 too, so I was happy.
It's a pretty good deal, man.
Yeah, it was, and I got it with Batman, Arkham City, and Mario Maker.
Pretty good. I got Arkham City also for the Wii U.
Dude, I've played it on multiple different systems and like on PC if you're on live, like we talked about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
But man, I love the Wii U version.
For me, I've only played it on the Wii U. That's the only version
Like
I
they
know.
actually use the gamepad.
No, yeah, they do.
Like it, but it, like not in like a tacky way. It works. You do your hacking and your all your like little mini missions.
Yeah, like the little decipher gadget
yeah.
you have. It's all on the gamepad and stuff, and like you move it for
But
the
it
frequencies and
works so
everything.
well.
Yeah, I think it was really well integrated into the game with the whole gamepad thing. I think some games are just like, oh, let's just port it over, screw the gamepad, let's not even try.
Call of Duty.
Yeah, there you go. But Arkham City took it to a whole new level.
Arkham City took it to a whole new level. I think we've gotten off topic enough here, so where
True.
can we find each other?
All right, me, Super Met Guy, you can find me here on YouTube at Super Met Guy, and you can also find me on Twitter at MetGuy1. Zildjian, where can they find you?
YouTube, Zildjian65. On Twitter, Zildjian65YT.
And you can keep it tuned here to Game Domain here on YouTube. You can follow us here on YouTube. Subscribe to Game Domain to keep up to date with all of our other new content. And make sure to hit that notification bell to get the newest updates from us here at Game Domain. Also, don't forget to follow us at our Twitter at Real Game Domain. And you can keep up with us there also as well. Everybody, thank you for listening in to the DomainCast 8. I've been your host, Super Met Guy. And Zildjian65 has been here with me also. Zildjian.
Hello.
Thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you guys for DomainCast 9.